What's going on, guys? It's fight season MMA, and today I want to talk about Alex Pereira possibly being the greatest mixed martial artist, combat sports athlete of all time. Let's get right into the video. Okay, so I just want to talk about today, is Alex Pereira truly the greatest combat sports athlete of all time? And yes, I know if you look just at his UFC career, he has done so many amazing things, but he is not the greatest UFC fighter of all time, and that is Jon Jones or Georges St. Pierre, whichever one you want to say. But in the combat sports athlete field, you look at Alex Pereira's kickboxing career, where he was the simultaneous middleweight and light heavyweight champion, and now you look at him in the UFC, who he was the middleweight champion, beat Israel Adesanya and then lost to Israel Adesanya, went up to light heavyweight, beat Jan Blachowicz by split decision, beat Yuri Prochazka by knockout, beat Jamal Hill by knockout, beat Yuri Prochazka again by knockout. These are some names that are so incredible. And only you look at Alexander Rakic, who just got absolutely bodied by Yuri, and it looked like he was throwing some crazy punches at him, and Yuri was absorbing them. But then you got Alex Pereira over here, whose power is just too much. His technique is too good. And is Alex Pereira the greatest combat sports athlete of all time? I'm gonna say yes. And I don't want to think that he's the most well-rounded UFC fighter that there ever was, and he was off his straight accolades and his kickboxing career, Alex Pereira is the greatest combat sports athlete that the world has ever seen. After his performance last night, he stepped in on 2 weeks' notice, no training camp. He was doing stuff in Australia for fans. He was doing stuff in New York probably 6 days out before the fight. And Alex Pereira went in and KO'd Yuri Prochazka in like 5 minutes and 10 seconds. I don't know what else you can say. I don't know who you could say is greater than him at this point. He's KO'd pretty much every single person you put in front of him. Nicolaitis with the flying knee. He went to a decision with Bruno Silva. Absolutely murked Sean Strickland. KO'd Izzy in a comeback win. Lost to Izzy, which that was a perfect storm for Israel Adesanya. That was probably the best Israel Adesanya we've ever seen. Beat Jan Blachowicz, who that was a really hard fight for Alex Pereira because Jan Blachowicz is a grappler. Beat Yuri when he was grappling, and it looked amazing in that fight. Jamal Hill's just an idiot, let's be honest here. He's thinking he could strike with Alex Pereira. And Yuri Prochazka thought he could do it again and absolutely just could not. And I think that this solidifies Alex Pereira's legacy as one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time in the UFC right now. You look at Jon Jones, who's obviously number one, but Daniel Cormier's up there, Rampage Jackson's up there, Alexander Gustafsson. These guys are so good, but Alex Pereira could probably beat all of them. And I look at a fight with Jon Jones, and it's one of those things that obviously Jon Jones has the stylistic matchup advantage, but I always say that Alex Pereira has the greatest takedown defense ever, because if you go near him, he's just going to kill you. Like, I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense. There's no reality about how good Alex Pereira is at his striking. It truly makes absolutely no sense. You look at every single fighter who Alex Pereira's faced, and he barely clipped Jamal Hill, and Jamal Hill went night-night. His eyes rolled to the back of his head, and it wasn't even a clean shot. You look at that hook yesterday versus Yuri. I wonder how hard that hook was. And that head kick, no telegraph at all, right to the temple, and Yuri was out cold. And Herb Dean had an awful stoppage, and I talked about that a little bit in my my UFC 303 breakdown video. But Alex Pereira, in my opinion, is one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time. I do think a fight with him and Jon Jones would be so interesting. And yes, Jon Jones, like I said, has the stylistic matchup advantage. But Alex Pereira's striking ability, I'm not going to bet against someone with that much power. And I know it's Jon Jones, but how can you bet against someone who, no matter how long the fight lasts, he's going to kill him? And Alex Pereira is so smart because he knows that every single round starts on the feet, and his advantage is so great there that, I don't know. I feel like if Jon Jones went to go take down Alex Pereira, he would just auto-flying knee him and just murk him. I don't know. But please let me know what you think down below about Alex Pereira being the greatest combat sports athlete of all time. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of Fight Season MMA. Please let me know what you think about Alex Pereira's performance at UFC 303, and if he truly is one of the greatest mixed martial artists or the greatest mixed martial artist ever to ever live on the planet. You look at his kickboxing career and his UFC career, and I just don't understand how he couldn't be the greatest mixed martial artist on the entire planet. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. If you enjoy the content, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I try to respond to as many comments as humanly possible, and I will see you guys very, very soon with more content and UFC news.